Welcome back to Hawk Talk, everyone. This is Season 2, Episode 7. Today is our final Meet the Freshmen episode. We apologize for not having an episode in a little bit. It was a crazy end to the semester and just a crazy end to the year in general with all the COVID stuff. But we're back, and we're going to have a couple more episodes coming in the next few days. So if you're watching this episode, you can like and subscribe if you're not already. You can leave a comment or email timfield@anselm.edu with any questions. And we also ask that you follow us on Instagram if you got it. Go like some of our stuff. And we're also streaming on Podbean and Apple Podcasts. The final thing I'll mention before we get going here is our next episode is going to be our spring recap episode, where we're going to go over our spring game and also have a special guest to talk about what's to come for next year. So as I said, today's our final Meet the Freshmen episode, which is appropriate because this is the last time that these three boys are going to be known as freshmen. So today we have joining us Alejandro Correal, Zach Verow, and Logan Kline-Frenya. So guys, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So just so our audience knows a little bit about you guys, I'll give a little bit of a background. Alejandro is a goalkeeper and business major from Canton, Massachusetts. He graduated from Canton High School last year, where he played lacrosse and soccer and was a team captain his senior year. Zach is an attacking player, winger, forward, and also a business major from Bedford, New Hampshire. He graduated from Bedford High School, where he helped his team to a Division I state championship his junior year, and he was selected first team All-State as a senior. He was also an All-State track runner at Bedford and won the New Hampshire 300-meter and 400-meter races. He played club for GPS New Hampshire, now Seacoast United Bedford, and currently plays with me on the Seacoast Classics UPSL team. And lastly, Logan is a midfielder and business major as well from Plattsburgh, New York. He played basketball, baseball, and soccer at Seton Catholic Central High School. In soccer, he was a captain as a junior and senior, and he helped his team win their first New York Section 7 championship title in 16 years. He was also selected twice for the Region 1 Eastern New York ODP tournament team and played club soccer for Synergy FC Academy in Vermont. So now that we've gotten to know you guys a little bit more, I'll pass it off to Tim to ask our first questions.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Zach, you kind of teased about a special guest coming on our next episode. I'm assuming you're not talking about me?
No, I'm talking about – I'm not going to name names, but I'm just going to say special guest.
It must be that other guy. So, hey, guys, one of the things that we always do in these episodes, especially with the freshmen, is we're going to ask you, hey, what was it about St. Anselm College that you liked? Why did you end up coming here? What led to your decision? Was it soccer related, academic related, a little bit of both, those types of things? So with three of you on here, I'm just going to poke you each one at a time. And I'm looking at the screen right now, and the guy in the top line for me is Zach. So, Zach, why don't you give us a little bit on how you ended up with us?
So going through my college search, I was looking at schools where I could play soccer and or track, and I narrowed it down to three schools, being UNH, Merrimack, and St. A's. And in the end, St. A's was the best option for me due to COVID and everything. The restrictions were more so for the D1 schools. And the soccer was great. I had heard a lot about the program with Bruno and everything he's been doing. The team's been moving forward. Just seemed like a great fit for me moving forward.
Cool. And then Logan, how about you?
Throughout my college search, I was looking for a program that was competitive, wanted to win, that played a good style of football, and just was a all-around family in general and cared about each other on and off the field. And I came here for my visit, and I fell in love with the program and the coaching and the style of play, and I fell in love with the entire school. And academically, it fit all of my needs for where I want to go in my future and what I want to develop throughout my future.
And I'll add a little bit extra with Logan, because I worked with Logan a lot during the recruiting process, but that also opens up a whole new area. I don't know how long it's been since we've had someone from upstate New York as part of the program. So it's kind of interesting being the team that we split up New Hampshire against Massachusetts, and then we look and we're like, oh yeah, we got to put Logan somewhere too. So, and then last, Alejandro, who played for a St. Anselm College men's soccer player in high school. I believe your coach played for us back in the 2000s or so.
Yeah, something like that. I know he played for a bit. But yeah, I mean, St. A's has always been a good academic school, so it was always on my college list through high school. And then I went up for my recruit visit, and the boys just treated me like I was a part of the team already. Without having an offer yet, they took me in. Like, it was a great atmosphere. And then once we got on the pitch, like, you could just tell they all wanted to win and they wanted to do great things. And that kind of drove me in more and more. And I just fell in love with the program and the school. And I knew that's where I wanted to end up.
So, guys, it's been a struggle, obviously. You three, welcome to the strangest year of college in the last 100 years. There is absolutely no doubt that this was nothing like any of us expected. If you go back to old podcasts, old episodes that we've done, Zach and I laid out a great plan in the fall, and none of it came to be. But you guys did get a full year of college under your belt. And even with all the restrictions, we got in a lot of training. We're able to do a little bit of scrimmaging. And then, thank God, we were able to play a game. Undefeated since late 2019. That's all I've got to say. But I'm going to ask you guys, and I'll go through individually with you again, but tell me, really, what did you learn about the college game? You know, what surprised you about either the team, the game, the training, anything like that? And how have you enjoyed it so far? So, Logan, let's start with you this time.
Honestly, that's sort of a tough question for me, but I thought on the spot especially, I felt that coming in, not really knowing what to expect with this odd year, with this year of COVID and everything, if we'll be able to play, if we'll be able to, things we'll be able to do. I came in and I learned that everything is, you grow up very quickly. Everything you have to take seriously when it comes to playing, when it comes to time management, when it comes to academics, mixing your academics with your training and the games and things like that. I learned that it's a very complicated system that you need to just stay confident in yourself and in your team. And if you have questions, you need to ask your teammates, you need to ask your captains, and you need to communicate with them about everything. And I learned that it's a whole system that you need to fit yourself into, and everyone needs to work together to achieve the same goal, which is the team's goal.
That's good. I like that. And I will say, because you and I talk a lot, you learned a lot this year, didn't you? So yeah. It was good. It was good. And on the field, I think you learned a lot too. And it's nice because we see some things that we're going to enjoy in the next 3 or 4 years, depending on how much longer you're here. Alejandro, same question for you. What did you learn this year?
I mean, I definitely feel the same way of what Logan said. I mean, it's a weird change going from like playing a sport in high school to playing a sport in college. Like it's people think it's like an easy transition. Like it's pretty big. So it kind of makes you grow up a little faster. And then on the field, I mean, the level of competitiveness it's so much higher in college, and like the boys just want to win. It's just so much more competitive, and you like if you don't bring your A game every single time, like you're gonna get called out. And I think that's like the fun part, where you really have to push yourself every time on and off the field to be able to play, and then to just have a successful season or practice or whatever we're doing as a team.
So, yeah, I think I noticed that you were adapting to that pretty well. I think we were inside one night in the spring because it was cold and rainy, and we were playing 8v8 or whatever it was, and they were cranking shots about a foot off the ground, wide, going near the post, and you were making saves. And I remember looking at Bruno and saying, okay, he gets it. He understands it now. And it's cool to watch because, you know, obviously I saw you when you tried out as a high school senior and you did things that impressed us. But that night it was like, oh, crap, he's really starting to get it. So, all right, Zach, I'm going to put you on the spot and I'm going to ask you the exact same question. So what did you learn this year?
So what I learned, I never got to see the team play before. I never practiced before I committed. So everything I jumped into was brand new for me. But I learned that there's a lot more strategy, especially in games. The one game we played, we did have a lot of strategy. Bruno was coaching a lot from the sideline. You were as well, Tim. And just everything was much more methodical than playing, say, high school or travel. And I just thought it was great. And there's a lot more. It's better for the individual as well. Like, you play to your team's strengths, and just everyone has the will to win. You don't have one player on the team that doesn't want to win. Everyone wants their chance to play, and everyone wants to be able to prove themselves.
Good point. And with you, we'll let the audience know and hope that Snoo and Franklin Pierce aren't listening. As soon as that outside back starts to look a little tired, we throw Zach in, and he just says, "Oh, wow, I wonder what he looks like from the front." You had one against Stonehill. I still don't know how the keeper made the save, and I really don't know how the referee gave a goal kick. But you know what? We're going to get over that.
So, guys, I just want to say that I'm really impressed with your answers, and I'm also really proud of the guys that have been there already, because we've been trying to change this culture and change this program. And the fact that you guys came in year one and already seen that, like, we're trying to win, we're trying to work hard, and we do everything together. That just goes to show how hard the guys that are already there have been working to try to change this program for the right direction. But my next question is kind of more specifically towards soccer. But we trained for a whole year, and we didn't really get to play 11v11, and we were also forced to train just with each other, and I know by the end of the year we were probably like really sick of each other, especially just playing like small sided and like beating the crap out of each other. But when we played Stonehill, I don't want to go into too many details because that's our next episode, but did you guys see anything like a huge difference between training with each other and also training in your past, and now we get a real live opponent? So Alejandro, I know you three were all at the game. So Alejandro, do you see anything different with the spring game versus Stonehill?
I mean, comparing it to like high school games, it's definitely way more competitive. I mean, it's high school. You could see some people that definitely like were just on the field because they just wanted to be part of something. In the Stonehill game, like, everyone who was on the field wanted to win. Like, everyone who was on the field was giving their all. And I think that's like the big difference. It's just much more intense, high pace. Like, it was completely different from like games or experiences I've had in the past. So definitely that would be a big difference.
How about for you, Logan?
I think it was we all learned from it, and I think it was a positive outlook on our team altogether, and that we all went in on the same page. We all were competitive. We all wanted to win. We all wanted to play the style of soccer we play. Everyone trusted each other with the ball on and off when people were off the ball, when they're on the ball, and no one was going to leave someone else to dry. If someone was tired, the other person would recover for them. We moved as a unit and we played together, and that's what really stood out to me.
Do you agree with those things, Zach?
Yeah, I do. Especially going from practice to the one game we had. Like, we can practice a certain way, but without being able to play, we have no idea how it's going to turn out. But everything we had practiced worked in the game. We all worked together. Everything just looked fluid. And when we were on the field together, we all looked very comfortable around each other.
So, guys,
go ahead.
There's something else that's kind of weird that I was going to bring up. So, Zach, you live 6-7 minutes from campus, give or take, maybe 10 with traffic, like if the cows are in the road. Alejandro, you're hour and a half, roughly.
Yeah, around
Logan,
that, I would say.
Logan, you got to get on a boat to get to your house. What is it, about 4 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours round trip? So it's just ironic that we bring the three of you together, but we get to ask a question of really, what was the transition like going from a high school schedule where, you got to be in school at 8 a.m. and you're there until 3 p.m. or whatever the case may be, to actually at least somewhat being on your own and then having different class schedules, and semester by semester they move. And even in the age of COVID, sometimes you got up thinking you were going to school and found out you weren't going to school. You were actually just logging in. But can you kind of talk about what it was like with that transition? And we'll start nearest to farthest. So Zach, go ahead.
So for me, I actually enjoyed the transition. I didn't find it too difficult at all, because going from Bedford, it's for high school, the teachers and everyone prepare us for college. It's considered a pretty highly educated school. And just being able to have that transition, I found it very useful, especially choosing classes. I try to stay within the high school parameters, get all my classes done in the morning, because I know we always have soccer at night. So just trying to stay with that time frame. It just worked well for me.
So Alejandro, with you, I should kick in another interesting fact. I say you're an hour and a half away, but that's when you're at that house. I know you have family that's more like, I don't know, you got to cross the equator to get to them down in Colombia.
Yeah.
But for the sake of this discussion, let's just talk about what it was like coming from Canton and moving up to a school in New Hampshire.
I mean, it's definitely challenging. It was a big change. A lot of things like time management were something I had to pick up fast, especially living on my own. I know here, like in high school, like if you didn't do something, like your mom would get a call, she'll talk to you, let you know what you did wrong, etc. In college, you're on your own. So you really have to like make sure you know what you're doing, like try to keep up with everything and like organize your time pretty well, because I think that's a big change going from high school to college. I mean, apart from living on your own with your friends, I think like time management, and it's like the most important part when you make that transition. Make sure you know how to do it.
I remember starting college. Oh my God, I don't even want to say how many years ago it was. It was over 30, and time management was a major problem at the beginning. And I get that. And that is something, especially with the schedule that you guys hold, where you could have, well, you didn't have too many early morning lifts, but you had a few, then practice, all your classes, all your studying, everything like that. Okay, so now we'll go to the farthest point away, upstate New York. Logan, what was it like for you?
Honestly, the biggest thing with me that I found out was it was a lot of responsibility. It was time. I can agree with Alejandro's time management. It was everything had to essentially came back to responsibility. You had to get your life in order. You had to make it to class on time. You had to wake up on time, and you didn't have a parent or a brother or a sibling, someone at home to wake you up and make sure you were there on time. It was your responsibility. And in the same thing with practice and time management and making sure that everything in your schedule is okay so that you don't miss something that was important. And that was the biggest, I think, struggle, but also the biggest thing that helped me change and realize that I needed to get in order was the time management part, and realizing that I needed to be more responsible in my life and with everyone around me. And I noticed that if I did that, then the people around me would start to learn from the things that I would do, and that would benefit me and benefit our team as a whole.
Good answer. I do like that none of you guys said you missed the food at home. I guess Davison is still okay, even though you weren't able to hang out together as much.
Can confirm Dave still got some good stuff. But yeah, so I got my next question here. So I know COVID really kind of, I don't know, took away basically our whole year. I mean, I know we got to train and had that one spring game, but took away our full season, took away our ability to train together for the most part. But things are really starting to look good. New Hampshire has over 50% of the people fully vaccinated. So hopefully by next fall, we'll be fully open, have our season, get a crowd back in there. But back to this year, what are some advantages that you guys have gained? And do you think training and lifting and being together will serve you guys for the future? Because I know a lot of our opponents, they weren't even at school and on campus, and we had that advantage over them. So what do you think are some advantages that you can take from this year to next year when we actually have a season? So we'll start with Logan on this one.
So I actually remember while I was in the process of committing and like thinking about this year, and I was talking with Tim about this, and I thought it would benefit us as a team to be able to be on campus when other schools weren't able to. And now that I reflect on the past year, I think it did benefit us a lot. We've become a lot closer as a team. I think that training together and realizing who each other are as people, and then also seeing the competitive aspects, the will to drive, to work, the work ethic of everyone on our team through lifts, through training, has benefited us greatly in the long run. And I think come next season, I mean, us as a freshman class will be ready. We know what we're in for next semester. We're ready for then what's next.
Yeah, definitely. And I also forgot to say that props to you guys, because it must have been so hard to come in your first year of college. Like, I know my first year of college was tough, like in terms of the transition, but you guys had all the COVID stuff, the testing, like the online classes. It's really hard to learn through online stuff and Zoom and all that stuff. So props to you guys. So Zach, would you agree with what Logan said?
Yeah, I do. I think it definitely benefited us, just being able to have guys on campus, because it's one thing to practice as a team, but you only know each other in soccer. But be able to be on campus and hang out with each other on like the weekends or just outside of class, it makes us stronger as a group. We all know each other. We're become friends off the field as well as on the field. I just think that makes us a stronger group together.
And Alejandro, what are some advantages you think for next year?
I mean, I definitely think being on campus has helped us. I mean, even though we always hear stories about how many stuff you guys do as a team, like during no COVID stuff, like I still feel like we did a bunch of those things and we were able to get like a good amount of time together. And I think it was good for us because we were able to like learn from like the older guys and really get a sense of what our goals are, which is like something other teams probably don't have. They probably have freshmen coming in not knowing like what their team wants, not really knowing their team. And I think it will reflect on the field next year that like the freshmen have been involved. So it's not two classes coming in being brand new. It's just like we already know like what the team wants and what the team needs and how we can help the team.
Good stuff, guys. I like that. So now is everyone's favorite part of the episode, the lightning round.
Lightning round.
So, guys, I'm sure you've seen every episode. I know you're just sitting there waiting for them every week when they come out. But just in case, we're going to ask you guys rapid fire questions, okay? Because there's three of you, we actually cut down the number of questions a little bit, but they are going to be quick. Don't put too much thought into it. Just go with your gut and throw out those answers. So if you guys are ready, I'm going to start with Alejandro on this one. So Alejandro, Logan, and Zach. Got it?
Awesome.
You're all business majors. What was your favorite class this year?
I enjoyed macro. I've always loved math. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Logan.
Marketing.
I like that answer. Zach.
Marketing.
Oh, there you go. 2 for 2.
All right, question 2. We'll go reverse order. So Zach, Logan, Alejandro. What is the biggest perk of being a college athlete?
Protein shakes after lift.
Having teammates around you that can be considered family and brothers.
And Alejandro?
I mean, I agree with Logan, and also I think the gear is pretty cool.
That's my favorite part too, the gear.
I love the gear.
We've all got it on right now. Hey, okay, so guys, this one's a little bit of a loaded question. Be honest with me. And Alejandro, I'm going to start with you because I think you're the one who would have the biggest anxiety over this question. Who on the team do you fear when you're scrimmaging?
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to go with Jackson just because of the little push we had when one of the scrimmages.
Yeah.
I know it feels to get bulldozed by Jackson, so
he doesn't let much get in his way.
Yeah, no.
And he hits the ball pretty well. My old man hands are glad that they're not stopping any of those shots.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a tough task. That's definitely tough.
Logan, how about you?
Bruno. Bruno.
And is that because you know he's going to make you no matter what you do?
Yes, very much yes.
Okay, I can go with that. And I'll remind everyone that Bruno once megged me while we were standing on the sideline in the middle of the game. So it's another story for another day. Zach, how about you?
Jake Reynolds.
Do you want to expand on that at all?
He plays hard. Every tackle that he makes is hard, and it's just not fun to play against him.
Yep. And then Mr. Elliot, since we're having fun with this question, what about you?
I can attest to that. I've taken many shots from Reynolds in a scrimmage. Probably got to wear my shin guards next year when we're scrimmaging.
Nice. I love it.
All right. My last question for you guys. I'll start with Logan on this one since he hasn't started. But what do you want to accomplish most in your time here?
I want to win a championship. I want to win with everyone on our team. That's the goal, to win.
How about you, Alejandro?
I mean, academically, I'm just working for that diploma. I guess that's the end goal for everyone here. And then soccer-wise, I mean, I think we all have the same goal here. We want to win a championship. We want to raise a trophy and celebrate in the middle of the field with everyone. I guess I hope we can experience that.
How about you, Zach?
The same as the other two guys, win a championship and get my diploma, come for the education.
Well, you guys sound like the kind of guys that we would recruit into our program. I love it. All right, so I get the bonus question, and this one is going to test your knowledge a little bit. And Zach, why don't we start with you? Who will win the Champions League this weekend and why?
Chelsea, because Pulisic's the biggest threat on the field with those two teams playing.
Logan?
Manchester City, because they've been there. They have the attitude going into the game, and it's Pep Guardiola's style of play, quick 1-2 touch, and their attack is just, I think, insanely good right now, and that's just my opinion.
Alejandro?
I'm gonna go with Man City. I mean, I just like them. I think they're a pretty cool team. So I'm rooting for Man City for the Champions League.
All right, so.
Yeah, I'm going with Man City. As much as I love watching Pulisic play, and he's such a playmaker, their other attacking players are just not nearly as good as Manchester City's, and Manchester City's defense is just far better.
So, sorry, Zach, Verow, but I'm gonna have to also side with City, which, being a United fan, that is difficult to do. I love what Pulisic does in the game, but I just have two words for you: Kevin De Bruyne. He changes games, and
wait,
I don't know if he has any eligibility left, but if he does, he can email me.
Hey Tim, isn't Kevin De Bruyne 3 words?
Well, I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. Logan, do you consider yourself to have 2 names or 3 names?
2.
Okay,
everyone
is 2. Zach, I was literally in my head saying, do I say 2 or do I say 3?
All right, guys. So that's all we got for our show today. Thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate it. So to our viewers, thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as I said before, you can leave a comment or you can email Tim with any questions. Go ahead and follow us on our Instagram. I really want to get us to 500 followers. We're so close. And lastly, we're also streaming on Podbean and Apple Podcasts. And one more thing, don't forget to tune into our next episode. We're going to have a special guest, and we're going to talk about all about our season this year and talk about next fall as well. So thanks for watching. and protect the nest.